Welcome back. Well, in the boxing world, few have reached the heights that Billy Dibb has conquered. The two-time world champion from South Sydney has represented the country on an international stage, accruing legions of fans along the way. But following a cancer diagnosis in 2022, Billy's life path was forever altered.
Now, the retired professional is putting his skill set towards combating the alarming rates of bullying in young people. And along with speaking to kids in schools, Billy has also found time to pen a book on the subject, a must-read for both parents and children who want to see change. And Billy Dibb joins us now. Hi, Billy. Great to see you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Your story is full of these beautiful highs, but also some really low lows. How was it going from being this sort of world-class athlete to fighting for your life? That was following a cancer diagnosis.
Yeah, I mean, it was extremely tough. It wasn't easy, but I had a really strong Y factor, and I often tell people that if your Y factor is strong, you'll overcome anything. And so for me, my Y factor was obviously my son and my wife, and you know, my son at the time was just on the verge of turning 3, and I couldn't fathom to think of leaving him behind. So I did everything in my power to fight the cancer, and you know, I told the doctors from the start, I said, cancer picked the wrong opponent. I can't die right now.
Yeah, you're a fighter through and through. We're thrilled to say that you're cancer-free now.
Yes.
So how good, look at that smile on your face. How did the whole experience change your life?
I mean, it was definitely a life-changing experience. I look at life differently now. I think that, you know, people often take time for granted, but I look at time as the most valuable gift that none of us own. Time is a gift that's, you know, that's given to us by God. And so many of us take advantage of that time. But, you know, I think that time is such a gift that we have to give our time to people who deserve it, people who cherish the time that we give them. So, yeah, time is a very valuable asset that's not ours.
Okay, so coming through the cancer, you had this sort of epiphany, and you've written a book.
Yes.
And the book is called Boys Can Cry, and Billy Dibb does too.
Yes.
Tell us why this is such an important message.
Well, this book is such an important message because this book's not you know, it's a book about allowing young kids to know that it's okay to express yourself, and it's okay to shed tears, and only through crying can you sometimes heal. And, you know, it's a book that's sort of going down the route of suicide prevention, you know, like obviously with so many kids out there taking their own lives, it's quite sad. And Charlotte O'Brien, who recently took her own life, you know, I met with her parents, and, you know, she needed an upstander, and I want to be that upstander for people. I want to be the person who stands up and says, no, it's not cool to bully kids. And I was a young boy who was bullied profusely at school, you know, and to come out of it, and I was strong. I had a mentality that I'm going to be a champion one day, so I would just sort of, like, you know, dust it off the shoulder. I'll brush it off and keep moving forward. But so many young kids can't comprehend why people are doing that to them.
And what do you say to those kids if they're not set, they're not in that mindset they're going to be champion fighters one day?
Yeah.
They don't have that internal fighting ability. What do you say to those kids? Because you're doing this talk at school a lot now.
Yeah, well, I often tell kids at school, I said, look, if you're a bully, put your hand up, and nobody puts their hand up. Yeah. And if you're getting bullied, put your hand up, and you might get 5 or 6 kids put their hand up, right? And I say, well, see, you see what a bully is? They're a coward. Bullies are cowards. They hide behind something. And so I said, next time you're getting bullied, ask that bully if they're okay, because they're obviously dealing with something themselves.
Yeah, wow.
And, you know, the thing is, no one's born a bully. You know, it's something that's happening at home. You know, something that's going on with the parents. The kids are seeing their parents fight. They're arguing. They're derogatory towards each other. So they bring that to school. They take it out on the other kids. And that's how a bully is developed, I believe.
How important was you as a fighter, as a boxer, I should say, to tell this story? Because do you think kids will therefore maybe listen to you more because they say, well, the message is boys can cry?
Yeah.
So do you think it hits different to boys coming from a professional boxer?
It definitely does. Yeah. Because when I go to schools, which I do visit a lot of schools, I demand their attention. And the only reason why they give me their attention is because I'm a former world champion. I've achieved some great things in boxing. So, you know, they might not listen to their teachers, but they listen to me. And so I think that's just so amazing that I can go in and touch the lives of so many kids, and I love it. I love going to schools, talking to kids, interacting with them, being able to inspire them to chase their own greatness. Because I often tell them, I said, look, we are all a creation of God. And God has breathed greatness into each and every single one of you. So go out there and chase your greatness. Every one of you has greatness within you.
Great messages, mate. Just very quickly, is all this more important now that you're a dad?
Yes, definitely. You know, I really want to show my son, you know, I try to nurture him in the best way that I can. And I have to tell him that, Dad, don't bully anybody, don't be mean to anybody, always be kind, always be caring, and that's the most important message I think I could share with him.
A terrific messaging, mate. Lovely to see you this morning.
Thank you so much
Thank you
for
for
having me.
coming in.
Thanks,
and congrats on the book. Billy Dibb's book is called Boys Can Cry.